Hey guys, don't you just love the smell of fresh linen? Like, I will not shut up about how much I love the smell of fresh linen or Lenore scent boosters. Oh, it's so orgasmic. Like, it's so nice. Or like good fabric softeners and then laundry detergent before you put it in. It's too good. It's my guilty pleasure. I've got like fresh bedding and it just smells like Lenore and it's making my whole room smell like Lenore and I'm having a great time. All it took was a week to recover and I feel fantastic. I feel fabulous. Oh, I feel brand new. You know, when you're sick, reminisce on the times where, oh my gosh, I really took my health for granted. Like, what the fuck? And then I also wonder how I even got to that stage because my immune system cannot be that weak. God forbid for me to get sick like that. No, it was horrible, but I'm so glad I'm over with it now and done with it. Unfortunately, I have passed the illness on to my siblings. Do I feel bad? Of course. They're younger than me. They shouldn't have to go through that. But at the same time, I did warn them. Like, I don't understand. Clingy family members. Like, I warned them. I literally said, guys, stay away from me. I am sick. You're going to be sick if you just hang around me. Did they listen? No. So now they're paying the price. My poor brother's at home paying the price because he decided to not listen. It's fine though. I made him some like nice food and I'm taking care of him. So yeah, you know, big sister vibes. To be honest, anyone who's like a good caring big sister is like wifey vibes. Yeah, just, you know, throwing it out there. Applications are open. Yeah, for cuffing season, applications are open. What are the requirements? Well, fuck around and find out, you know? Fuck around and find out. I don't think I have a type. I don't got no type, so yeah, throw yourself there, please. But you might just be like, Brianna, why are you making like a whole application process when you could just sign up for a dating app? No. No, I refuse. No, I'm not doing it. No, George. No. Get me out of there. It's hell in there. It's horror, right? I did do that. I did sign up for Hinge and, what do you call it? A queer dating app. I hated both of them. I mean, I think I like the queer dating app more because, you know, it's just mostly women. So I feel a bit more safe. But Hinge was so trash. And you know what? I downloaded it. This is like so naive of me. I downloaded it thinking, okay, there's not going to be like a racial bias behind it. Like, it's just an algorithm and it can't be that deep. So I did not put my race in it. I don't know. Maybe the algorithm picked up on that. Maybe the algorithm picked up on that, was like, oh, so because you're Negro, we're still not going to put you through, sweetie. Yeah, you thought you could hide that. No, like, can I not be transracial? Like, I'm not hiding anything. I'm transracial, guys. I identify as white. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, it's just so odd. Like, why is it that if I was a different race, my matches would probably be a bit more... And if I was matching with people, it was with old men. There was even a point where I switched it to just only women. Because I'm like, no. Because the men aren't giving what they're meant to be giving and I'm kind of disappointed, so let me just switch to only women. But it still was putting me on the men's side of Hinge. Like, I don't want it. I don't want dick. I don't mind it, but I don't want it right now. Like, what are you doing? And there's old men. It was old men. It's either old men or just men that aren't really my type. And it's so weird because when you're in that position, you kind of get to a point where it's like, should I just go for it? Not with old men, Jesus Christ. I mean, would you guys do age gaps? I'm 19 now. I think the oldest I'd go for is like maybe 23 or maybe 24, 23, 24, but that's not going to change anything because older men are not as mature as we think, guys. It's hell in there. It's horror. It's not great. Do you guys want to hear like a story time? I'm spilling tea here. So I went on a date with an older guy. I'm not gonna say how much older. I'm just gonna tell you that I went on a date with an older guy. This was not from the dating app, by the way. Like, we met in real life. And yeah, it got me to realize, like, as we were talking, like, I don't think this older, younger situation is a vibe for me. I literally told him as well on the day. I was like, do you know what? After, going out and feeling the vibes, this is not the vibe. It just, because it's so hard to, like, constantly think about that. And he was like, oh, just, like, don't think about it. Huh? Is that what Jay-Z said to Beyonce? Is that what Jay-Z said to fucking 18-year-old Beyonce? Was she 19? I'm pretty sure he was like, what, 10 years her senior or some shit? That man is old. He's a predator. I'm jumping from topic to topic, but anyways, people who like to date with age gaps, let me know how it is. How are you guys finding it? And I'm talking about crazy age gaps, like from 6 years and above. I don't think when you're like the age of obviously 18 up till the age of 23, you should be in an age gap relationship. Like, what the fuck? You're still a child. I think you probably turn into an adult when you're like 21. Like, that's when you start becoming... I think that's like the real 18. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not an adult still, but that's when you start becoming... an adult. 18 is still very much teen years. I was still in school when I was 18, babes. What do you mean I'm an adult now? Like, what? I was 17 just a year ago. I don't know. It's so strange. What do you mean? What do you mean? 21 is like, okay, the feeling's settled in. I guess 20 is the transition stage from you being a teenager to you going into a new decade of your life. I'm saying any of this as if I've lived being 20 and I've lived being 21. I believe I'm gonna be 20 next year. What? Ah! Shout out if you're gonna be 20 next year. 2005 babies. But I'm getting ahead of myself now. Age gap relationships. Sophia Richie and Scott Disick and Beyonce and Jay-Z. Just, I find it very predatory of a man to go for a woman, not even a woman, to go for a girl many years younger. No offense, but you're basically her uncle. You are an uncle. Why are you approaching a child? Because I promise you, she doesn't know shit about shit. When it comes to finances, she is deep in debt. And she's not in debt. She's figuring out her finances, struggling to get a job, probably thinking about the next hairstyle to do. Like, you guys are in different stages of your life. Once you find out that person's age, why does that attract you even more? Okay, back to me going on a date with that older guy. I remember I told him my age and he was like, yeah, I like that. Huh? What do you mean you like that? Like, is that is that something that turns you on even more? Why is that an attractive factor? Because if I was to say, yeah, I'm your age, would that turn you off? I don't get it. And what's so strange is that with men, it's so much more acceptable for them to be in age gap relationships and for them to explore with younger women. But like, we all know like they're predators, but it's just something that's like swept under the rug. But with women, they are quickly labeled as cougars and weirdos. It's super taboo for women to go into age gap relationships, especially if they're obviously the older one. But don't get it twisted, I am equal here. But on the flip side, as a woman, what do you find attractive about a little boy? Because we all know men emotionally mature way later than women, and even when they do emotionally mature, it will never be the same as a woman. So the fact that he's younger and he hasn't even stepped into those stages yet, and you're like years beyond than anyone can imagine in terms of emotional maturity, you're gonna go with someone who's at like ground zero. From a psychological point of view, I'm not a psychologist, I just am interested in psychology. From that point of view, what intrigues you about that? Is it that you can emotionally manipulate them and they just won't know what's going on because they're not tapped in like that? Or do you like to bitch little boys around? Is it like a dominatrix kink for you? Like, I genuinely want to know. I guess love has no boundaries. I don't even think I agree with that statement. Love has no boundaries. Lust has no boundaries. Lust has no boundaries, because you can look at someone younger and be like, obviously if you're in that dirty mindset, you can look at someone and be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go in for it, because of your lust. Is it the youth that you're catting for? Do you want that for yourself secretly? Do you know, this whole episode might just be me asking questions because I'm curious. I want to do an interview with someone who's dating an older person, like, or do you know what, the younger person in that situation, what are their thoughts? Because for me, again, when I was in that position, I just couldn't help but to continuously think about that. Like, this is weird. So many years older than me, you're attracted to me. I know me being young is what you kind of like. It's kind of a turn on. I have seen some instances with some people, like great success stories where obviously they're with people that are much older than them, and it actually works out completely fine. Like, it's not weird at all. There's no weird vibes, but you can generally see through that. The eyes, chico, they never lie. The eyes, chico. With some people, you can just tell from the vibe that they're giving, okay, you are with this person because you want to manipulate them, or you like the youth that they have and you are kind of jealous of that. So you want to surround yourself with that youth because you think it's going to rub off on you. Fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce want to be with that person to manipulate them or to cap them. Jay-Z is a good rapper, right? He's a great rapper. Beyonce is a great singer. Beyonce is a great, amazing vocalist. She's wow. Everyone loves Beyonce. Everyone knows who Beyonce is. Everyone loves Beyonce. I'm not saying that everyone didn't know who Jay-Z was before. Like, everyone had a clue about who Jay-Z was, but it's Beyonce. Do you know what I mean? It's Beyonce. It's the star girl. She's literally a star girl. And what I think is so sinister about Jay-Z is the fact that when you're in an industry where you are meeting several kinds of people a day, or you have the opportunity to connect with multiple people because of your status, why don't you go for people that are your age? Yeah, strange. And okay, maybe, do you know what? I'll give it like a bit of leeway. Maybe when you're in those situations, I guess it's kind of hard to connect with people because everyone knows who you are, so you can't really generally connect with people. Not a good way to meet someone if they already know who you are. What do you mean, let's go on a blind date? I know who you are. I've got your album saved and downloaded. The industry is small, I will say that, but there's so many ways to connect with other people. There's no way you're telling me you can't find people within your same field as well, same age as you, same interests as you, and connect with them that way. Like, you went through the industry. This is Jay-Z now. You went through the industry and you found Beyonce. Even though she's several years younger than me, I want her. I want to trap her. You weirdo! Stop! Well, why? Leave her. I get the sentiment of what's going on. He's an ugly guy and she is a pretty star girl who is palatable. There's not much to say. She's just a star girl. That's what she is. And he's an ugly guy. And what I find is that in a lot of situations where girls will disregard the fact that the guy is ugly and will get with them because we like them because of their personality. I'm not saying that if you're in a relationship with a pretty girl, that automatically means that you're ugly. That's not what I'm saying. We don't care about those things. We're not superficial like that. We want to actually have a good conversation with you. We want to be emotionally and mentally stimulated. Just coming from like my mindset, if I was to be approached by a medium ugly guy versus like a really hot attractive guy, I think I'd feel more comfortable talking to the medium ugly guy, because in my head I'm probably just thinking, okay, we're just getting to know each other. This is personality. Like, which is so strange. Like, duh, if you're gonna get your heart stomped on and broken by, let it be by a pretty attractive man, not just some mid ugly guy. Because what I've realized is that they know that they're ugly. I mean by personality as well. Not even personality, by character. Jealous and insecure of you. Let me give you an example. Beyonce and Jay-Z. You guys remember the elevator incident, right? Where Solange beats his ass, as she should. It was such a scandalous moment because this is Beyonce we're talking about. This is the star girl, and she has been publicly cheated on. And I think that was calculated. Like, you know who she is. Acting like, oh, cheated on her because we were having marital problems. No, don't lie to yourself. You cheated on her because you wanted to put her in her place. You wanted to humble her. You wanted her to feel bad, because Beyonce will always be at the peak. I don't think she's ever not peak. She's just always been at a peak. Girls like that, where they just have themselves, they're in their bag, they've got talent, they've got drive, they really got stuff going for them. When jealous, medium ugly guys do you know what this sounds like? This sounds like a Red Pill podcast, but the female version. I'm like the female version of Fresh and Fit right now. This is what it's giving. Oh, no. A common trend that I've noticed is that medium ugly guys will see a pretty girl with a lot of star energy in her, and then to dim that light, or to just embarrass her and humble her and put her in her place, they will embarrass the fuck out of her. And many ways could be by cheating on her, especially when they cheat with some, no offense, but someone that's like not even on the same energetic level as the other girl, you know what you're doing. And what I really don't like is the idea of pitting girls against each other, because you only did that so she could look at the other woman and feel insecure about herself, when the other woman has nothing to do in that situation. However, the woman that Jay-Z did cheat on with Beyonce, you're weird. You're weird, and I hope you know that. It's a different circumstance if a guy's cheating on a girl and then the girl that he's cheating with has no idea that, you know, he's in a relationship, a committed relationship at that, has no idea about his romantic situation outside of what they've got going on. That is completely different, because you're not at fault here, you don't know. But as soon as you do know, girl, you better leave. You better leave, and you better send that hey girl message as soon as you find her contact details. Like, do not indulge in that behavior. Do not engage. That is very misogynistic behavior. I don't like that, because when guys do certain behaviors like that, they almost think that they own women, because they feel like they're in control of the situation. Why are you cheating? Why do you feel the need to cheat? Especially with multiple... If you're a dog and you're doing it with multiple women, oh, you're disgusting. Oh, you're so disgusting. You're so disgusting. Like, you're actually gross. You're filthy. More of a sinister incel behavior thing of medium ugly guys to put their women down. It's so, in a sense, like, bitchy. Like, it's giving like bitch vibes almost. Because why are you as a man jealous of a woman? You guys have completely different experiences. Well, not completely different, but in terms of how you maneuver yourself in the world, why the fuck are you jealous of a woman? Not other guys. No. A woman. Like, what is it? It's because you want to be her, but you know you can't be her. So you project your insecurities onto her. And then that doesn't work, because, again, she's a confident star girl. So you decide, okay, the only way I can hit you where it hurts is by cheating on you, because you've got an emotional attachment to me now. And I know the best way I can hurt you is through your emotions. That's sinister and that's calculative. Like, don't tell me that's not calculated. That's calculated as hell. And that's what Jay-Z was doing. From where he was dating her at such a young age, and he was obviously still older, so he's in that mindset of, he's like years ahead of her in terms of life experience, so he kind of knows how to fuck her over. And because she's so young, she doesn't know much about what's going on. Like, yeah, she's got elders around her that can like give her advice, but at the end of the day, it's her life experiences, what she's going through. She's the only person that can live the life that she's living. And at a young age, it's so easy to be manipulated. And I think it's the most disheartening thing, seeing girls with just like confident star energy at such a young age, or just like girls with a lot of talent at such a young age being manipulated by older men. It's always older men. Like, it's always older men. And I think that's why I always have like a dis-ease when I hear about age gap relationships, because on both ends. But it's specifically as a woman that's younger and then a guy dating a younger woman. I think it's so strange, because men have this tendency, this predatory tendency, to want to control women. And obviously the younger they are, the more easier it is to manipulate women. And I've heard guys say this. Like, why is that a breakdown that they do as well? Oh yeah, I like younger girls because I can tell them what to do and they'll listen to me, they'll be more submissive. Nani? 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 Huh? Nini? Like, why is that your prerogative? Why don't you just go into dating thinking, oh my gosh, I want to find the love of my life. I want to date to marry, or even if you don't want to marry, I just want to find the love of my life and appreciate and enjoy love and give someone all my love and receive it back. That's what it's just meant to be. As simple as, why are you making it so weird and muggy? Ew. And that's the common trend with older men dating younger girls, is because they want to manipulate women, and they can't do it with women their age because they are way too mature for that shit. And they've got way too much life experience for men like that to be doing shit like that. Women their age realize you're just a fucking loser and you're weird as fuck. I'm gonna stay away from you, and I'm gonna find better men than you, because you ain't shit. But obviously, being a younger girl, you're naive and you think everyone has a good heart, but you're a bit more gullible. Like, you'll assume that, oh, you know, he's like a medium ugly guy, like, he can't be that bad. Meanwhile, he's scum and he is the troll of the earth. Oh, it sucks to say, but like, just because someone is not as attractive does not mean that they're a good person, and vice versa. So just because someone is attractive doesn't mean that they're also a good person. On the flip side, what I found is that with older women that date younger guys, it's not really brought up in conversation. It's mainly, when it's age gap relationships, it's always the older guy, the younger girl. But now when we talk about the older woman and the younger guy, I think it's even more sinister. I'm not going to hold you, because women can also be calculating too. I'm going to be very impartial on this topic. I'm not playing favorites here. Women can be very, very emotionally manipulative, especially the older we get and the more we understand our own emotions. We tend to understand other people's emotions too, you know, as within, so without. Women that are older, if they have like some unhealed trauma, you know, where they feel like they've been controlled by men. Do you know what? It might even be the same situation where the woman that's obviously older, dating a young guy, probably when she was younger, was dating an older guy. I know that's quite confusing, but, you know, in the past, when she was younger, she was dating a guy that was older, and he probably manipulated the fuck out of her. And then she realized when she got out of the relationship and she was much older, and probably felt some trauma. Well, I don't think it's a conscious thought process. I think it's more of an unconscious thing, like more of a behavioral pattern, or just her acting out of trauma. Yeah, it could be a situation like that, or it could be, I don't know, she probably had like an abusive dad, or just men in her life have been quite abusive. This is me theorizing. I'm not an expert. I'm not a psychologist. Again, I'm not playing favorites here, but I will say with the women of trauma reasoning as to why they probably date younger men, because again, they want to gain that control back. This is just a theory. They want to gain that control back, because when you're in that situation with older men manipulating you, you're sort of like at a loss, and you're younger, you're more vulnerable, so it's more easier for you to be manipulated and for you to be coerced into situations that you don't want to be put in. That will leave you with trauma. You're not going to feel great about it, and the older you get, the more resent you'll feel towards those men. It's natural for you to internalize that and for your unconscious to project that out, and for you to manifest yourself being in relationships where you're the older woman and he's the younger guy, so you have a bit more of control because you're older, you've got more experience in your life, you're emotionally more mature, so you can manipulate him more. Yeah, I think it's to fill a void. Like, at one point in your life, you didn't feel secure in your life, so the best way to feel secure now is to control younger people. But that's just a theory. It's just a theory. Do you know, I have several other theories. You might just be a bit weird and be into little boys. That could also be a situation as well. Or it might just be a genuine thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't take what I'm saying so seriously. It's just a theory. It's one of my main theories. But the reason why I gave the woman in this situation, the older woman in the situation, a bit more leeway, it's still not an excuse, but it's an explanation. Why I gave her more leeway is because the patriarchal society that we're in, of course, men are in control. So men will go through trauma, don't get it twisted, but it's more common for women to go through trauma at the hands of men. Especially the younger we are, the more trauma we go through as women at the hands of men, because we're in a fucked up society run by fucking men. Like, duh. So that's why I think it's just more common for men to get into age gap relationships with the intention of just being predatory and wanting to manipulate a woman out of how they've been raised in the patriarchy, instead of that coming from trauma. And then it's more common for women who are in age gap relationships, older women, to do it out of trauma because they just want control. And they think the best way to gain control is to act in resentment instead of in a healing. Those are my thoughts on age gap relationships. This is all a theory, by the way. Please, again, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm not saying this is like the final word. My opinion might change. It might not. But let me know your thoughts on age gap relationships. Do you think they're predatory? Would you yourself do them? Do you know anyone who's in an age gap relationship and it's actually just genuine, and it's good vibes. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I also want to talk about arranged marriages, but that is for another episode. But yeah, let me know how you found that. What do you think about age gap relationships? Are you for it? Are you not for it? Let me know why. Comments down below. Let me know on Instagram at the Socks of Podcast XO, and follow me on TikTok at the Socks of Podcast. And all my other socials will be down below in the bio, wherever you're listening. And yeah, that is it for today. Hope you guys have a great day, evening, morning, whenever you're listening to this, night. And yeah, tune in next Friday at 6 p.m. Bye.